Hey guys, I know it's been a while since my last upload, but shit is still collapsing all around me, and someone's got to say something about it. So here I am. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of articles that are kind of showcasing the limitations of human perception, at least the superficialities of it, anyway. And I'm seeing parallels with that and how trends start and what people are kind of looking for as the main viewpoints that kind of direct all genres, metal included. And one of the most hilarious articles that I've seen recently, it was a Guitar World article, so, take it or leave it. But people were forwarding it to me because the article, I think the headline was something like, contrary to the opinion that extreme metal guitar players reach for the instrument to attract chicks, they're actually doing it to compete with other fellow males. And it's like, yeah, no fucking shit. No one's. I think that the idea that people are trying to get into metal to get laid is a strict, an outsider perspective. Like, no one that likes metal knows that you're going to get laid by fucking playing metal. And the unfortunate reality, as you could see with a lot of the modern metal shit that's going on, is, yeah, it's strictly written to impress people. It's not written to dictate anything. It's not written to express anything. It's just written to impress. And that's why people like me are critical of it, because we look to this genre for some kind of depth, what used to be there, something that would showcase that there is a movement behind it, something that shows me that these people grabbed an instrument to express a message and not just to impress people that were like-minded, or maybe not like-minded, to convert people that might be on the fringe. But this article was approaching it as if it's some great reveal that every fucking metal dork out there isn't out to try to impress other people. Like, it's a hilarious concept, because according to the article, the long-standing trope was that metal musicians are out to get laid, and there's only two reasons to want to pick up a guitar now, according to this article: to impress women or to impress men. That it never even is remotely mentioned in the article that maybe there's another reason. Maybe there's an actual form of inspiration. Maybe there's something that you're feeling inside that you want to express. None of that is even remotely hinted at. It's either you're out to impress women or men, and that's it. And one is funny and the other is natural. And it's just really unfortunate that it's all boiled down to that. And I appreciate the article that it's sent to me, because it is funny, and if anything, any modern output within this genre should be lampooned. So I enjoy it from an entertainment basis, but it really is sad that that's what people are looking to determine, like, what is the foundation of this genre? What is really the motivating factor? People that are seeing this, people that are normies that are going to like pick up an issue of Guitar World, that maybe are like Eric Johnson fans or whatever, are going to look at it and not think that there's anything there, that there's nothing worth exploring. And that's really sad, because that's just going to cause a cycle of garbage being output within the genre that is never going to have any substance at all. But yeah, that was pretty entertaining. And I don't know, I'm always looking for something metal related to watch, and I'm seeing people being very scrupulous with depictions of technique. It's always technique. Lately, I've been going down a rabbit hole of Metallica videos. I don't know why. I'm not a huge Metallica fan, but because they're such a popular band, there's nonstop content regarding Metallica. And everyone talks about James Hetfield's technique. It always comes down to technique. And if you're familiar with Metallica, if you're familiar with the talking points behind the technique, it's always the down picking and how fast James Hetfield is at down picking. And there's entire videos devoted to his technique. And they'll talk about Master of Puppets, because that's a fucking popular song right now. Of course, it's in a popular show. People are going to talk about the goddamn song. So they will discuss in these videos that I'm watching, does he sneak a fucking upstroke in there? What does he do to give his arm a break? No one is like talking about the fucking construction of the song Master of Puppets, which has a hilarious derail right in the middle of it that no one talks about, and it's completely stapled together. No, they're talking about the fact that you need stamina to play it, and that's all people care about. They're honing in on the technique, and that's all people see. And it'll be like some kind of amazing gotcha moment in these videos, because they'll be like, oh, here's a live video where he snuck in an upstroke. Like, who fucking cares? Is that really the main focal point here? Is that really what is going to be important about how this song is portrayed? Like, god damn it. People are just so, like, they can only look at very basic things. They can only look at the superficial aspect of things. They cannot actually give you the depth of what is being said. Sure, there is a message behind Master of Puppets. Sure, there is a construction to it. There's a composition to it. There's a lot more going on than just needing to downstroke to sound clean and percussive. But that's all people hear. That's all people care about. And when they reach for a guitar, they're going to look to that element to try to improve on, instead of being like, how could I become a better songwriter? How could I possibly express something that I'm feeling? What can I do to take that instrument and have it be a window into something that I maybe didn't realize I had the potential for? No one thinks about that. They think about, well, can I play just like Hetfield? Can I do the goddamn downstrokes? That's what people care about, and it's fucking embarrassing. But there's all kinds of things that are really kind of handicapping the idea that maybe we can go further, maybe we can go deeper. You know, there's this option paralysis of having all the content at our fingertips. You know, you go ahead and you open up anything online and you already are broadcasted ideas. You're already, it's not, you don't go for the research. You don't go because you want to learn something. You're having an editorial masked as some kind of actually objective article, and you wind up going through it, and it's already kind of camouflaging a message, and you're going to end up having this inherent bias color what you're consuming. And people aren't going to want to go deeper. They're not going to want to find dissenting opinions, because those kind of opinions, like mine, end up getting torpedoed. And they're probably, I don't know how YouTube works now or how algorithms work, but I assume that if you get enough thumbs downs or reporting or whatever, that your content is banned, or at least shadow banned or whatever. I could see that happening. And right now, I don't know how to review things to you guys, because I like to show the things I'm reviewing on the projector. I like to show the A to Z and explain what I'm seeing, because people need to be shown. I can't, if I just tell you what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, granted, people that don't like what I have to say are gonna not listen either way, but I have a much greater chance of being able to make my point if I can show you exactly what's going on. But I can't even do that now, because I get banned all over the globe for what I'm trying to say. But what I'm getting at here is everything is being streamlined to the point where you can't observe depth. You can't explore depth. It's getting impossible, because all of the channels of thought are that you're going to end up seeing rise to the top are going to be the most superficial ones out there. And if you aren't aware that you can approach an instrument and you can approach a genre and find something within you that you didn't know that you had the capability to explore, you're going to see this as just a landfill of techniques that people could just pick and choose what they want to improve on. Because, as I've said before on this channel, if you want to learn something, the resources are there. You only have your own what you want to put into it, how much time you want to put in, and how much effort you want to put in to blame. Anyone can get good at a task if you repeat it enough times, but not everyone can express something, because not everyone has something to express, because most people are fucking vapid. And it's really a shame, because that's going to make it a lot harder for newer, more modern people to actually come up with something that will have any sense of depth to it. And I think a lot of this has to do with there's a lot of this kind of inherent solipsism that's kind of plaguing the way material is consumed. People think that there is no objective traits, that everything is purely subjective, and because of that, you either can, if either you like it or you don't, and that is what matters, whether or not you like it, as if that has anything to do with whether or not there's inherent quality to anything. People could just boil it down to either you like it or you don't. And at the end of the day, what will that contribute to the pantheon of human achievement? Nothing. Because, you can look back on art through history, and whether or not you like it doesn't matter. You can look at something or hear something and be able to determine what the artist is trying to communicate, and that will showcase whether or not it's vapid, or whether or not there is something worth exploring, or whether or not there's something transcendental about it. These are all things that used to be present in metal. And of course, that died out very early within the genre's lifespan, and now we just have, how fast is he at down picking? That's all we have left. Or how can he fucking sweep pick? Like that kind of shit is all people really want to hear. And it's really a shame how much things have narrowed, given that we have endless channels of knowledge at our fingertips. There should be channel upon channel devoted to what each individual brilliant artist within metal has delivered throughout the years, and there isn't. There's just channels devoted to technique, because that's what people can empathize with. They can look at a technique and they can build upon that and try to emulate that, but no one's out to actually absorb the message or to try to find out what they are capable of expressing. And that's just because of how limited our perception is, and how much we just want to move on to the next thing. We're just hooked on the idea that we have only a limited amount of time to just give anything some kind of semblance of paying attention to it before it's time to move on to the next thing, because it's just all just this insane barrage coming at you. Not only is there too much to consume, but you have to keep up with what you are going to be judged by enjoying. You have to make sure that you fit within a box that society puts you in, or a culture puts you in, whether it's metal or whatever. You have to make sure you like the same things and everything is in lockstep, or else you're going to be ostracized. And right now, because, despite the fact that we have, worldwide turmoil, people are only focused on whether or not they will be socially shunned, whether it's online or otherwise. That's the only kind of instinct to survive that we are expressing as a fucking super coddled kind of culture, kind of people that we are now. Now the only thing that matters not just basic survival, but the idea that you can be ostracized socially. That is what motivates people. So you're going to see people building slightly upon what has now been established by others as being okay to talk about, being okay to enjoy, being okay to find any kind of review-worthy stuff of substance in it. You can talk about that, but you can't talk about this. It's all laid out there, despite the fact that we have endless channels to choose from, because we just do not have the capacity to look deeper. And I don't know, I want people to take a break. I want people to just stop and try to analyze things that they're consuming a little deeper than what is just immediately available. I'm currently, right now, I'm working abroad, and I'm just only home for the weekends, and I get to look at the same hotel walls all week long, and you get to stop and analyze things for a minute. And I think people need that. If just having a break from the constant stimulus, it's really nice. And I was kind of dreading doing this because I'm going to be stationed there throughout the remainder of the month. But now I'm enjoying the fact that I can unplug and just sit in a room without decor, like I have, just basic walls with nothing, so that I can just kind of meditate on things. And instead of having just this constant buzzing of fucking modernity in my ear all the time. So I don't know. This is a very long, rambling video, but I just wanted to see if I can pinpoint the reasons, another one of the slew of reasons why we can't observe depth within metal or depth within any kind of form of entertainment in general, or why it's so hard to do so. And it really is because we are fucking lazy. We don't want to give anything other than our just very basic level of being able to pay attention to something. Letting it hit your senses, the most superficial of senses, being able, I can see that, I can hear that. People can observe speed. People can observe whether or not something is catchy, but they can't really, they're not going to take time to think about arrangement. They're not going to take time to think about inspiration and what goes into composition. It's a fucking time waster for modern people, because you just got to move on to the next thing. And it's really a shame, because there is objective merit to things out there, but it ends up getting soiled by our inability to have any depth of perception. And I will always be someone that is going to champion the idea that there is objective merit out there to what people are doing within art. I don't want there to be this black hole of subjectivity that is going to make it so that there is no inherent value to anything, because who gives a shit then? Who gives a shit? Why do anything if that's the case? But our inability to perceive on any kind of level other than the basic surface value is really handicapping that, and it's only getting worse. So thank you for listening to that long rambling mess, but it's going to take some kind of awakening to get people to want to get back to how we were able to consume this genre in the first place. Fucking late 70s, early 80s, early 90s, when you didn't have all this stimulus around, when you could just sit down, open up a record, read the lyric sheet along with it, let it be something that consumes you for the hour that you're going to give it. Don't let any other outside influence kind of color the experience. That's what we need. But it's going to take a long time to get back there. All right. Thanks.